Welcome to downtown Utica, Michigan, everyone. Just about underway here. Another fine matchup between the visiting Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers here today and the home Eastside Diamond Hoppers on Key West night here today. A bit humid in the air, but cooling off quite nicely before game time here. Jeremy out along to bring the call here today. The Hoppers will be wearing those specialty themed jerseys again here today. We've seen that from the Beavers so far with their JJ uniforms earlier on this season, and certainly those Hot Rod Mammoth uniforms as well. And then the Hoppers getting in the fun here today on Key West night. Should be fun to get an up-close look at those jerseys at some point during the game here today. These two teams certainly in a little bit of a different path in terms of their starting pitching here today. A.J. Coleman will go on the mound, the veteran of the USPBL. Looked pretty good in his last 2 or 3 starts. And on the other hand, it's a veteran, I guess, in the independent scene, but a first game starter for Lenny Guizdala. Talk a little bit more about him as the broadcast goes on, but he's kind of a command control type of guy, has a sinker that he likes to draw ground balls on. So somebody to look for in really 2 ground ball pitchers here today. A.J. Coleman about 46% drawing ground balls in the USPBL so far this year. So that should be interesting to track as well. These 2 offenses kind of finding their way a bit more. And as we take a peek at those and dive deeper into that, let's take a look at the lineups for today's game. Brought to you by AAA of Michigan. First for the visiting Beavers here today, Connor Bagneski will lead it off as he plays center field. Eric Santiago bats second and plays short. Christian LeBoy trying to heat up in the 3-hole. He plays right field here today as well. Ron Williams Jr. hits fourth and plays first. Keyshawn Lynch batting fifth and playing position number 5 here tonight. Roy Verdejo in the 6-hole and playing left field. Collier Rutledge will DH. Nafi Mercedes and Austin Shoemaker will round things out again. On the other side, for the home Eastside Diamond Hoppers here today, Ben McConnell continues to lead it off with Juan Lopez Rios batting second. Pedro Castellano in the 3-hole. Felix Abarrett, boy, has Felix Abarrett tuned up this bat. The power has come with it as well as 6 home runs checking into today. He's a joy to watch at the plate lately and catching today. Nick Kreitzer will bat 5th in DH. Greg Vaughn Jr. hitting 6th and playing left field. Joe Burke will bat 7th and play first. Will Crushena plays right field and bats 8th. And Adam De La Cruz will round things out at the 3rd base spot as he bats 9th for Paul Noce here today. Well, a little bit of a shortened week than what we're used to in the last couple. We've had 4 straight Wednesday games, Wednesday through Sundays. This starts a Thursday through Sunday for 2 weeks in a row as we inch towards the USPBL Championship game. Championship Series, September 10th, 11th, and 12th. You can certainly get your tickets for that at USPBL.com. First pitch between these 2 teams is next on the USPBL Network. Stick with us.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Your neighbors are going to be jealous when they see you're getting a new Connecticut water system. Say goodbye to hard water problems. No more spots on your glassware. Your laundry will feel and smell better. Your hair and skin will look and feel better. Say goodbye to hard water problems and say hello to great tasting crystal clear water with CGC Water.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field, everyone. Just about underway here in this fine matchup today. The Hoppers and the Beavers going at it. Today's broadcast is presented by Summit Oral and brought to you by the following: AAA, Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, Valpak, and UWM. We thank all those fine partners for what they do for this league. Time to take a peek at your pitcher comparison, brought to you by Ascension as always. Lenny Guizdala on the mound for the Hoppers here today. A little bit of a late sub for him, but he is in along with A.J. Coleman. This is a Hoppers team that made up their couple games after the rains came down in late July. Andrew Verbrugge, a normal starter for Paul Nochi's team, pitched both the completion of that first game, which was in about the 6th inning, I believe. So he pitched an inning there and came back and pitched a few innings, 3 to 4, in the second game of that 6-inning doubleheader that was made up. So it's still a few more games to be made up going forward. Those will be done in the non-public days here before you see games at Jimmy John's Field and on the USPBL network as well. A.J. Coleman going for the Beavers here today. Carries around a 2.50 ERA to play today, 58 innings. Has thrown some of the most innings in the USPBL thus far. Really nice walk to strikeout ratio, walk rate of only 2 to this point, and a very high ground ball percentage as we talked about before. Guizdala, another guy that likes to get the ground balls with his sinker as well. It's a newly added pitch for him. Talk about him and A.J. Coleman a bit more when we get back on the USPBL network. Stick with us.
About the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Attention, Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855-4MY-GUYS.
Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field. The Beavers and the Hoppers ready to do battle here today. Lenny Guizdala, the 5'11", 185-pound, 24-year-old lefty, is starting for the Hoppers here today. Let's check the defense behind Guizdala today, brought to you by AAA of Michigan. In left field, it's Greg Vaughn Jr. Center fielder is Ben McConnell. Will Crushena out in right. Burke at first, Castellano at second, Lopez Rios at short, De La Cruz over at third, and Abaret behind the plate here today. Bagneski, Santiago, and LeBoy, your Zach Hart agency, 3 men due up here in the first. Remind you can chime in with us on Facebook and YouTube. Joyce Reynolds Stanton says, good luck Beavers here today. Hope to see Cole Stanton pitch. Very well could. In line to maybe come in later in the game as he usually does. Angela Harris says, go Beavers. And on the YouTube side of things, a basketball fan says, let's go Beavers as well. So Connor Bagneski looking to start things off right once again for this Birmingham Bloomfield team. Been a really great catalyst to the top of this lineup. Him and Eric Santiago have really settled in nice in this role. I think Ed Campanella pretty comfortable with what they have done overall. The gate out in left center field is open here, so we'll have to shut that before play begins. There it goes. Muggy day at the ballpark. It's gotten a bit more muggy since we filmed our pregame show here. When you're in that sun, it can soak down on you pretty hard. 82 degrees, but feels a bit warmer than that. 81 mile an hour first pitch at 7:03 here today, in for strike one. So as we told you yesterday, or before, fastball, sinker, changeup, slider here for Guizdala. We'll top out 86, 87. More of a command control ground ball guy, as you see right there for the first out here in the first inning. And now Eric Santiago will come back to the plate. Looked very comfortable here at the plate since arriving to the USPBL. Also looked outstanding at that defensive spot as well, at his shortstop position. That one sinks low. 1-0 on Santiago. 8 for 20 start, 5 runs scored, is showing a little bit of extra base power and some speed thus far. Sinker low. 2-0 on Santiago. Him, LeBoy, Ron Williams Jr., and Keyshawn Lynch, 2 through 5 in Ed Campanella's order here today. High and in, 3-0 on Santiago now. Good look at those Key West themed jerseys here tonight. Bright sunshine, really mirroring what we have today in terms of weather. Crushena staring straight into the real sun for the second out. And now Christian LeBoy looking to do some damage here. Swing and a miss. Sinker fading to the exterior part of the plate there. So 2 up and 2 down thus far against Guizdala. A little bit of a hanging slider, but LeBoy can't quite catch up to it. 1, 2, 3, first inning. Ground out, pop out, strikeout. More when we get, we're actually going to stick here for a second for our sweetheart of the game. Here's Heather Cook with our sweetheart.
Milk, 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 yeah. Guzzle milk, drink it all. Make a milk waterfall. Cookie milk, stack it tall. Milk with no rhythm at all. Make you run fast milk. Stay awake in class milk. Pour it by the glass milk. Is that a mustache milk? Boom, 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 base milk. Smile in your face milk. Go for the goal before you know you going all the way milk. Milky high, milky hay. I hope you have a milky day. Live your best life milk. You out this world, Milky Way. Put you on the spot milk. Question, got milk? Show us what you got. Hashtag got milk.
A.J. Coleman back out there for the Beavers. Ben McConnell, Juan Lopez Rios, and Pedro Castellano will be the 3 that he faces here today. A.J. Coleman looking to make another start here today. Most of his appearances have been starts. Just 1 appearance out of the bullpen in the All-Star game. 58 innings, right up there for the lead league in innings pitched. And more often than not, unless he's having a rough start, he's going to be out there for 80 to 90 pitches. That's been the track record thus far. Check the defense behind Coleman, brought to you by AAA of Michigan. It's for Dejo, Bagneski, and LeBoy in the outfield here today. Lynch and Williams on the corners. Mercedes and Santiago up the middle, with Austin Shoemaker behind the plate. Ben McConnell, another guy that is settled into that leadoff spot. Juan Lopez Rios, since returning, has been hitting fairly well, but he's a guy that was leading off before his hand injury after getting hit in the hand in a non-public game, but he's kind of settled into that 2 role with McConnell remaining out there. First pitch curveball in for strike 1. Throws that curveball second most. 2-seam curveball changeup cutter here for AJ. Oh, 1 chopped foul. The cutter, certainly the new addition. It's been here for 3 or 4 starts thus far. Change of pace from the fastball. Right around the changeup velocity, 82 to 84, can act as a slider at times, as another curveball away. That's 3 straight curveballs from Coleman to begin this game. Don't often see that. Here's the 1-2. Low and in, fastball at 89. And his average fastball velocity has continued to kind of inch its way up. His high up to 91. There's 88 outside. Pitching staff still thinks there's a second gear within AJ to possibly reach a little bit more consistent 90-91, as this is chopped down the first base line. Coleman, nice play. And they say it's scooted foul. AJ trying to do all he could to keep that ball fair down the first baseline. Fields his position so well. St. Vera's really nice plays. Third baseman Keyshawn Lynch about halfway. But even with the third base bag and off the line, here's another chopper near the same spot. Curves a little bit more to the right and remains foul. That one at 90. So Ben McConnell giving him a little bit of a battle to begin this game. Fastball high. And now McConnell works a walk. Here's Juan Lopez Rios. Certainly a welcome addition back to this Hoppers lineup. Checks in at 333. A modest 4-game hitting streak for Juan. 6 games returning from his injury list placement. 1-0. Chase that one over the top as McConnell looks to dash his way back in. He does safely. It's Adrian Cook down there at first base here today. He'll start once again for this Hoppers team a bit later this week. Ooh, right on the bag again, making it a bit closer as Lopez Rios dives his way back. But it's been a nice find for Paul Noce and this Hoppers team to put Cook at that starting position. 1-1. Wow, 3 pickoffs in a row as Williams trying to dash that one back in the back of Ben McConnell. One is chopped foul there. Lopez Rios at the plate with Ben McConnell leading things off with a walk here in the first. This one dashing away, fastball to Juan Lopez Rios there. So heavy curveball on the first at bat for Ben McConnell. The first 3 pitches was a curveball. Quite a few fastballs to walk him in the end. Maybe a little hit and run there as Lopez Rios chops it foul. Him and Castellano representing 1 through 3 in the Hoppers lineup today. Felix Aberrant hitting 4th. Kreitzer in the 5-hole. In motion again, cue ball that will at least keep them out of the double play. So active running for this Hoppers team here early on. And now the first out here in the first inning will go down. First cutter there from A.J. Coleman. Obviously the stats are skewed at this point in terms of how many, or the percentage points of his cutter. It's about 2%, but that's looking at the full body of work. He'll throw around 10 to 15 per game depending on the situation. Doesn't really have a benchmark for it. It's just how hitters are reacting to his other pitches. As there's a laser to Bagneski. What a throw to third base. Oh, it was right there, but it's through the glove of Keyshawn Lynch over at third, and McConnell just able to swim home safely. just getting word in between batters here that tomorrow on Friday, encouraging everybody to share our stream. So you can hit the 3 dots if you're watching at least on a desktop. I believe it's the same on mobile as well, but hit the share video link there. Or actually, no, it's at the bottom. It's next to the like button here. So there's a share now, a share to your story, send a messenger, more options, which also gives you a chance to add a caption to things. 1-0 is, again, lifted foul. But anyway, tomorrow, Facebook Frenzy Day here on the USPBL Network, trying to encourage everyone to share our stream, see that if we can't reach a lot of states, some countries like we have over the year, and certainly if you're watching today, chime in with us and tell us where you're watching from. Here's the 1-1. Away. 2-1 on Castellano. That one the cutter for A.J. Coleman. Or the changeup, I beg your pardon. Little poke to left, over the glove of Santiago at shorts. Hung up there long enough for him to making a leaping attempt. But in the end, Ben McConnell will score. It's 1-0 early on in favor of the Hoppers. So a few nice battles by these Hoppers batters. Don't have a lot to show for it in terms of the amount that have come up so far in this game, but regardless, it's been a good effort thus far. That ball had seams on it, but right back to Santiago as he'll step on the second base bag for the 3rd out here in the 1st inning. Nice job, though, but to manufacture a little run as McConnell comes around to score after just 5 batters here in the 1st.
Elite athletes want to be closer to what fuels them. So we built them a gym behind the milk section.
What's going on here?
Oh, they're training.
What? In the milk section? What is happening? What you guys are doing here?
I've always had milk in my fridge, but I've never really trained in a fridge surrounded by milk. I feel like I've been able to level up my training and do things that others haven't.
No, they're training back there. It's a full gym.
Hey guys, keep it up.
Being close and nearby milk, it's how I hydrate, it's how I recover. It's important to be at arm's reach.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Lenny Guizdala back out there for inning number 2. Ground out, pop out, strikeout in the 1st inning. Guizdala around 82 in that 1st inning. Heavy sinker for him. Fastball normally around mid-80s. First pitch round, Williams wants to bunt as he pulls it back there. That'll bring in Adam De La Cruz over at third base a bit. Guizdala got behind Santiago 3-0, but was ahead of the other 2 batters. Struck the boy out on 3 pitches. Is that one outside to Ron Williams Jr.? And that one will loop its way foul. Also playing way in here is Greg Vaughn Jr. in left. With Ron at the plate. Williams likes to hit the ball to center field quite a bit. 44% of the time when it's in the air. Also has Crushena playing back and over in right field. Here's the 3-1. Pop fly. Vaughn Jr. carrying himself back. Shading the sun. Boy, do these orange jerseys just pop when the sun is beating down on these players. One up and one down here in the second. 4 straight retired by Guizdala. Guy that has played for now 4 different independent leagues. 2019, the Pacific Association, as that one curved hard off the mound. Easy hop for Lopez. Rios just gets him over at first. Then was in the Frontier League, one of those 4-team pods that several Frontier organizations did back in 2020. And coming now from the Pioneer League, which just last year was an affiliate league of Major League Baseball, rookie ball, but that is now independent. Came from Great Falls, 8.32 ERA there. 12 starts. Just over 48 innings of work. So it's kind of transitioned, at least this year, from back-end reliever to starter. Was the closer at Northwood at the Division II level here in Michigan throughout his college career. Spent 4 seasons there. Graduated back in 2019. Pretty good strikeout rate. The walk rate was elevated a tad at 4. Kind of double where you want to be if you're going to be perfect, I guess. A.J. Coleman is at a 2 walk rate, 2.2 to be exact, coming into play here today. Roy Verdejo, the left fielder here today, faces a 1-2. Lined into left field, a base hit and maybe more. Verdejo watching that one roll all the way to the corners. Greg Vaughn Jr. catches up with it. And Roy has himself a stand-up double in the second with 2 outs. And now Collier Rutledge, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Most of his time at DH this year for the Beavers and at Campanella. Kind of quietly raised his average to 260. 3-for-3. His last game against the Mammoths back on the 14th. And an RBI as well. Looking for a big 2-out knock here. Hitting 7th in the order tonight. Check swing the slider. The appeal says he did not go. 1-1 on Collier Rutledge now. Guizdala, no matter if there's a runner on base or not, will come out of that stretch. Does have the leg kick within it. Has been that way really since his second year in college. The native of Bay City, Michigan. Mom, dad, and sister in attendance here tonight. for a guy who certainly a lot of them close, so an opportunity for them to watch their son and sibling here today. Chopped into left. Verdejo taking a hard turn around third. Good throw by Vaughn Jr. Got him! Tags him right on the arm as Roy Verdejo trying to slide away. Really nice throw. Greg Vaughn tried to force the issue here in the second. Despite that, still thing leapers.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field, everyone. Look at your Caribbean Blue Band playing in the Michigan Schools and Government Soundstage out in right center field. Good bounce back by Lenny Guizdala. Got the first 5 batters that he faced here in this game. And then saw doubled on the left field line by Roy Verdejo. Kyle Rutledge adding a single. Verdejo trying to force the issue and score at home, but Greg Vaughn Jr. was there to throw him out. So 7-2 after the tag by Abaret. And now Greg Vaughn Jr. will lead things off here in the second. How often does that happen? Make a play and step back to the plate here. Dave Page on YouTube says, I love these jerseys. I don't know who came up with them, but they're awesome. See you tomorrow night. Mike Santiago says, Eric Santiago is the GOAT. Aaron Masaryk says, go Beavers. Greg Carlson chiming in on YouTube as well. Jason Kirkman in from Cairo, New York. So he loves watching different forms of minor league baseball. Just visited the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday with 2 of his nephews. I've yet to make it to Cooperstown, but hope to sometime soon. Greg Vaughn Jr., Joe Burke, Will Crushena. Your Zach Hart Agency 3-men due up here in the second. 1 run off 1 hit and no errors for the Hoppers thus far. No runs off 2 hits and no errors for the Beavers. That single run in the first, leadoff walk by Ben McConnell and the single by Castellano as that one floats into the glove of Mercedes behind the second base bag there. So A.J. Coleman in his last outing on the 11th against his first team. That inning, 5-run, 4th inning that included an error. Overall, it was a 5-inning outing for A.J. 88 pitches, his high this year, 89. That was within his first 5 starts. Golf fouled on the third base line here. Joe Burke. We've talked about his home run power. Once to the USPBL thus far. 5 doubles to his credit. 0-1. Curveball is looping away. So not many curveballs after we saw 3 in the first at-bat to Ben McConnell. A few mixed in here and there, but has been heavy fastball ever since. Here's the 1-1, another one. Beauty snaps in at 75. Catching Burke, watching it. Someone looking at rhythm. You saw the leadoff man get on. Can obviously mess with you as a starting pitcher that likes to work fast because Ben McConnell has some speed. Really, the top two in the lineup have above average speed. So you end up having to watch him. He threw 3 pickoff moves in a row. As that liner hangs up for out 2. And now Will Crescendo, the last shot here in the second. Crescendo, the right fielder. That back color nearly matches his jersey here tonight. That tan. As he lifts the now foul. Got in on the hands that time. Coleman would love a 1-2-3 frame here. 2 strikes away from it. There's the cutter, fades away. Second cutter we've seen so far here tonight. Pounds the fastball back in on the hands, and Lynch is there to complete the 1-2-3 breeze of an inning here in the second. Pop out, line out, ground out. And it's still 1-0 Hoppers.
I'm all out of love for my old insurance. Switch to insurance. They're saving me so much. They covered my car and bundled with my home. I feel so secure to say I love insurance.
Hello, AAA Insurance.
Goodbye, insurance. Hello.
Insurance.
Get a quote and save up to 20%.
We joined Green Path and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing Green Path is a no-brainer.
Lenny Guizdala back out there for his 3rd inning of work here. Gave up his first hit in the second after retiring 5 straight batters. Gave up a double to Roy Verdejo. He just kind of looped it down the left field line. Then the single by Collier Rutledge. Aggressive turn by Verdejo over at third, but he was gunned down by a near throw by Greg Vaughn Jr. to Felix Abaret. And just like that, they were out of the inning without any runs scored. Hopper is trying to keep this game right where it is. 3 combined hits through the first 2 so far. First pitch cutter in for strike 1. If you're wondering, Guizdala obviously with his first USPBL appearance here today, but he's been stretched out a little bit because of his starts in the Pioneer League. Last start was a couple weeks ago. Lollipops that one over to first for the first out here in the 3rd. He said he's good for around 90 to 100 pitches here today. Now Austin Shoemaker will stride his way to the plate. Shoemaker and then Connor Bagneski, your Zach Hart agency, 3 men due up here in the 3rd. De La Cruz pinching in over at third as Or De Los Santos, I beg your pardon, as that one is outside 1-0. Looks like they made a mistake on the lineup card here today. It's actually, I wrote down De La Cruz, and that's what they had on the lineup card as I double checked, but that is in fact De Los Santos at third. And De La Cruz is playing shortstop right now, so maybe that was just a change that was just made. Lopez Rios, it looks like, is out of the ball game. So maybe that hand re-aggravated. We didn't see anything that would necessarily indicate that, but let's see. His at bat in the first inning was just that ground ball down the first base line that was handled by Ron Williams Jr. So there we go. So the defensive switch likely has Lopez Rios taking over in the lineup for him, as this is poked down the right field line and fair. Shoemaker making the turn at first. He's going to have to hurry. That throw right on time, and oh boy. They rule it safe, but he was definitely out there at second base. Shoemaker won't mind, though, as he camps in at second. And now Connor Bagneski will come back up here. Nice throw by Crucena. Picked that ground ball up right away. Throw was a little bit off the bag there, but it looked like De La Cruz pulled it back in time. Regardless, Shoemaker and this Beavers offense trying to catch up here. Bagneski with a ground out back in the first inning. That was on a 0-1 pitch. Right back at him. Second time we've seen that today. He goes to third. Swiping tag, and he got him. Shoemaker. The second out as Bagneski is safe over at first base with a fielder's choice. And now Eric Santiago will get his second at bat in tonight. Fastball high, 1-0. Third baseman De Los Santos playing a no doubles look here. That's kind of where they have hit it so far today, right down the left and right field lines. There he is. One chiseled, foul down the right field line there. Just trying to place it once again into the corner. For a guy like Santiago, if he cues that to the right spot, he might just find himself his second triple. One of the few guys that can place in that category is launching a triple this year. Well, these jerseys by the Hoppers will be auctioned off. You can head to 32auctions.com/Key West. Again, that's 32auctions.com/Key West. 50% of all the proceeds will benefit the Sweet Dreams Project, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicating to help healing environments through custom designed rooms that promote rest, recovery, and joy for children with a range of challenges. You can visit their website at sweetdreamsproject.org. Again, that's sweetdreamsproject.org. We'll put that link in the chats on both of these streams. That was your Fifth Third Out of the Game, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank here today. And now time for JJ Boy, Michigan First Credit Union. There's JJ. Certainly a muggy day, so I'm sure your base pass umpire appreciates that. And getting ready for our DTE Energy Kid Race, the mascot, here is Heather for them. A little bit of trouble with Heather's mic there, as your kid is trying to beat our specialty mascot here today. And he's going to easily do that as he's around third, heading his way. Cheer Justin Shoemaker as he scratches home plate there. So back out there is A.J. Coleman for his third inning. He had a 1 second and is quietly 5 straight. Barrett, Kreitzer, Vaughn Jr., Burke, and Krushena. After the first 2 of 3 reached, walk by Ben McConnell and then the RBI single by Castellano. McConnell able to get his ball. Scoring from second on the single. 9-1-2 coming up here in the third. De La Cruz, McConnell, and Lopez Rios. Your Zachard Agency 3-men due up here. So De La Cruz started this game at third base. He's now shifted to shortstop with De Los Santos taking over for Juan Lopez Rios. Must have come out due to injury. The hand that kept him out for about a month, so wondering if that has anything to do with it here today. Cutter away. 1-1 on De La Cruz now. Golfed to second. Mercedes cutting it off for the first down here in the third. So Coleman is yet to record a strikeout here tonight. 14 walks to 44 Ks thus far. It's good enough for a 7 strikeout rate and a 2 walk rate per 9. Keyshawn Lynch charging in at third. This one on the ground and through. Second time that Ben McConnell has reached. Breaking out of his funk a little bit in the last couple games. And now Juan Lopez Rios would be coming up in this spot, but De Los Santos will hit for him. Ron Williams Jr. over at first base today. Now the 1-0. High fly ball to left field. Verdejo tracked it well. Was playing pretty deep. And we'll watch that one into the glove for out number 2. And now Castellano will be the last shot here in the third. He drove in Ben McConnell from second base his last time. Decent throw by Shoemaker, but off the bag. As Santiago has to skip over him. Another swipe for McConnell. It's been a difference maker at the top of the lineup. Really, you have one of those for every team. Frankie Luska doesn't have quite the speed as his other three counterparts, but still has that walk ability, ability to get on base. That one roped down the right field line. LeBoy going back, can't make the catch. Dribbles off the top of the glove as Castellano heads to second base. And for the second time today, he drives in a run. Next up, the catcher, number 12, Felix Abaretz. Now Felix Abaretz will try to do the same here. Certainly hit hard and on a line right off the bat. So Abaret looks at one outside. Coleman will look back. Second base certainly paid a lot of attention to Ben McConnell his first time on. Saw 3 pickoff moves in a row in the end. 1-0. Swerves in for strike one. The curveball there. Been a pretty effective curveball for AJ so far here tonight. Abaret with that line out to center field his first time. Had some nice steam on it, though. Chase Bagneski over to the gap. He read it right away. That's the only way you make that play. So 2 outs in the inning. Another run already in. 2-0 Hoppers. Both of these teams with 3 hits on the bar. Total is 6 in this contest tonight. Coleman looking to finish off Abaret. Tough hitter, certainly of late. Talked about it a bit in the pregame show. Power has really unfolded as the year has gone on. 6 home runs checking into play here today. Chopped fair. Keyshawn Lynch with a nice glove. Throws it across the diamond, and that for the third out here in the third. And a run in the third, that's enough so far here today. Not a lot of margin for error with these 2 arms on the mound thus far. Back with more after this on the USPBL Network.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, and everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart, to your heart.
Milk, 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 yeah. Guzzle milk, drink it all. Make a milk waterfall. Cookie milk, stack it tall. Milk with no rhythm at all. Make you run fast milk. Stay awake in class milk. Pour it by the glass milk. Is that a mustache milk? Boom, 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 base milk. Smile in your face milk. Go for the goal before you know you going all the way milk. Milky high, milky hay. I hope you have a milky day. Live your best life milk. You out this world, Milky Way. Put you on the spot milk. Question, got milk? Show us what you got. Hashtag got milk.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field, everyone. So glad you could tune in on a fine Thursday for some baseball here today. The Hoppers and the Beavers going at it. A 2-0 lead for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here. Happy to be joined by Russ Sclafani from Summit Oral for the second year in a row. Russ, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us once again here today. And you guys have the left field patio, is that right out there?
We have the best seat in the house.
It's certainly a nice spot to catch the ball. There's cheers out there and the food, I'm sure, but
perfect weather.
Yes. A little bit hot, but that's what you want in summer, right? You know, we're going to be complaining in 3 months that it's too cold.
We sure will.
Well, Russ, you know, from one of our fine partners in Summit Oral, and I know you joined us last year, but for the audience who wasn't able to tune in at that point, you know, what do you guys do, and, you know, what does Summit Oral bring that maybe other people in your industry don't, I guess?
Well, sure. So we're a full-scope oral and maxillofacial surgery office, and all of our surgeons are oral maxillofacial surgeons. We work both in the hospital and in our offices, which is an outpatient center. We do things like pull wisdom teeth on high school and college age patients, which is a really important time right before they get back to school to get them in. We also place implants and do bone grafts. We do biopsies and pathology. And in the hospital setting, we do a lot of trauma and cancer and reconstructive surgery.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. 1-1 is away. 2-1, you know, I guess pulling wisdom teeth doesn't necessarily bring happy memories for most, but, you know, what can be done to minimize, you know, what that experience, I guess, is like for some people?
Well, we have the luxury as board certified oral maxillofacial surgeons to sedate patients in our office. So we're go to residency anywhere from 4 to 6 years after dental school, and we're trained in IV sedation. Mm-hmm. So even though having your wisdom teeth extracted might not be the funnest thing, you won't remember any of it. You'll be completely asleep.
Well, that's the best way, right? 2-2 on LeBoy. Swing and a miss as he gets him with the fastball there. The second K here tonight for Guizdales. Good through in a third inning. So today, and maybe somebody that, you know, wants to be a dentist or wants to be somebody like you, you know, what's the best path? What can they do to, you know, rise up the industry chain, I guess?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to love patients. Mm-hmm. We all at our core love patients and love helping people. You have to have a strong science background, and you have to put in the hard work to get into dental school and then an oral residency.
Strike one to Ron Williams Jr. here. And what was your story, I guess? You know, how did you, you know, get involved with this particular area? Because I know you became a dentist first, right? You spent a year or two as a dentist and then, you know, kind of migrated to this specialty area.
That's exactly right. It was kind of, for me, a lucky mistake. I knew I wanted to do something in the healthcare profession. I didn't know if medical school was right for me. I fell in love with dentistry, and turns out that I actually ended up going to medical school and doing a residency after, and it was a lucky mistake, but a great field, and I couldn't be happier.
Chatting with a fine member of Summit Oral here today, a sponsor of the USPBL Network and the league in general for years on end now. Keyshawn Lynch at the plate as he takes a hearty swing at that one as well. Do you see a lot of athletes, you know, because there are some dental injuries that happen with certain sports? Baseball, you know, I guess if you get hit in the face, that's something that could be, but is that something that you guys see quite a bit as well?
We sure do. Even a sport, a non-contact sport like baseball, because the patients aren't wearing face masks, sometimes we can see trauma to the face, and that's something that we certainly treat and help try and prevent with mouth guards and education.
Infield single there for Keyshawn Lynch. Obviously, high school football is ramping up here in the state of Michigan and kind of around you know, the country, obviously, as well. Is there a key to picking a mouth guard for any football athletes that might be listening here?
I think the most important thing is that you have it made custom from either a dentist or an oral surgeon. They're much better than the type you would buy in the store. They fit better and they're more protective. And we always encourage our student athletes before the season begins to come for an evaluation, to have their wisdom teeth looked at so that we can get them extracted before they have any pain during the school year.
And how would you know that that needs to happen, I guess?
A lot of times an asymptomatic wisdom tooth can turn into a symptomatic wisdom tooth, and it typically happens right at the worst time.
Okay.
So we encourage all our high school and college-aged patients to come in for an evaluation, and we can take an x-ray and do a thorough examination and, go over their case and see what's right for them.
Roy Verdejo chops that one foul, had a nice double back down the left field line with 2 outs in the second inning. 0-1 pitch, chases that one away as well. So you're a local guy, went to Oakland and Detroit Mercy as well, and those are 2 rivals. So do you have a rooting interest there?
I stay neutral on that one.
I like it. It's the right answer. 0-2 is high and away. Fastball at 83. Well, I just encourage you to check out Antoine Davis here this year. He's in his senior year at Detroit Mercy. I get the honor of calling their games as well. So he's quite the player, going for the all-time Titans scoring record this year. And he might he should get it as long as he stays healthy. So that's a good watch. Here's the 1-2. Pounded him low and in. So how can they, reach out to you guys and get an appointment potentially if that's something that they want to do and feel is right?
So I would encourage everyone to check out our website at www.summitfacial.com. We have 5 locations in Grosse Pointe, Rochester, Macomb, Warren, and Macomb Township.
So quite a few here in the local area, covering a nice little geographical space here as that one is punched into left field past Adam De La Cruz. De La Cruz playing shortstop. He started this game at third base after Juan Lopez Rios came out of this game at some point. You notice the defensive switch in the last half as that puts runners on first and second here. Collier Rutledge coming to the plate with Nafi Mercedes after him. Chatting with Russ Glafani here today from Summit Oral, one of our fine partners at the United Shore Professional Baseball League here. Collier Rutledge takes a hearty swing. That one on the ground. Feeds to second base with Castellano covering. So one more time, that website.
It's www.summitfacial.com.
Russ, thanks so much for stopping by again. Good to see you. And go both Grizzlies and Titans there.
I like it. Thank you for having me.
Back with more after this on the USPBL Network.
I'm all in with HR and Organizational Development Council.
I'm all in with Marketing and Business Development Council.
I'm all in with Operations and Member Experience Council.
I'm all in with CEO Council.
I'm all in with Lending Council.
I'm all in with CFO Council.
I'm all in with Technology Council.
Our credit union is all in with CUNA Councils.
I enjoy renovating my home, so getting materials with my Chevy Silverado is a daily trip. But as the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, it's perfect for all my projects. And with the most functional bed of any pickup, plus the power up-down tailgate, my Silverado helps me with everything I need. Of course, a little assist from a friend doesn't hurt.
Lease a 2021 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for just $199 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field. You could win $250 plus 4 front row tickets to the USPBL Championship game in September. Text Chevy Detroit to 555-888. Again, that's Chevy Detroit to 555-888. Visit ChevyDetroit.com/USPBL. Rules of that contest as well. A.J. Coleman out there for our 4th inning of play. Jake Heilman joins us now from the analytics staff. Jake, how are you tonight?
Feeling good tonight, Jeremy. I've been enjoying the game so far, and obviously watching A.J. Coleman just throw another efficient gem so far.
Yeah, he's had the rough end of the stick, I guess, just because Guizdala has not allowed a run to this point. Saw a couple singles off him in the 4th, but the 2 runs definitely not because of elongated innings here today. Just 2 5-batter innings. And, Ben McConnell has a lot to do with them because of the speed. He brings a different element out there.
Yeah, like I talked about a few weeks ago, the single turns into a double and a double turns into a triple with McConnell, just with the speed, both stealing and taking the extra bag, like we saw on that sac fly to center.
Kreitzer looks at a slicing ball away, the changeup here from AJ. Trying to get in that quick rhythm once again. Golf to left in front of Christian LeBoy. He's going to fire to first base. Kind of a knuckling ball to Ron Williams Jr. Not sure Ron expected him to throw that right away, but he was able to recover.
Obviously, Christian is one of the better outfield arms in the league, and big fella is not the fleetest of foot, so I like to see both of them take the shot there.
Kreitzer has a little bit of a smile. He beats out the outfield single.
Of course.
Here's a man that saved a run. As the Beavers look to charge home early in this game. Ooh, snappy curveball in there for one more moment. Some of the best spin we've seen from AJ so far tonight. Quickly 0-1. Away now, 1-1 on Greg Vaughn.
Even when that curveball isn't as snappy with the velocity, it can still have sharp break with the spin rate obviously being north of 2,600 like that. That can still play as a 78, 79 mile an hour breaking ball.
And we've seen it a bit harder here tonight as opposed to other nights at times. It's kind of been right in that average most of the balls he's thrown, but it is interesting to see the variances and what it can do to the break as well. 2-1, chopped in a perfect spot between Lynch and Santiago to the left side. And that puts runners on first and second here with no outs to begin the fourth.
A seeing eye single there for Greg Vaughn, and obviously a tough hitter in Joe Burke coming to the plate. We've kind of had this common theme with the Hoppers is they haven't had the conventional bottom of the order with guys that can hit for a lot of power down in the 7, 8, and 9 slots, and I think Joe Burke is another example of that tonight.
Yeah, certainly the speed at the top, and 1-2 for Lopez Rios departed. But it is a little bit different constructed lineup, but it's worked out lately. All these teams hitting a bit better as the year has gone on. There's the curveball again, slicing low and away from Joe Burke. We've seen a decent amount of first pitch curveball so far from Coleman here tonight. Oh, one whittled foul there. So we told you about the last start, but the start before that was spectacular. His best of the year, 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks to 6 strikeouts, 87 efficient pitches there. Kind of what I'm sure he would like to be every start, the perfect balance of efficiency yet striking out a decent amount of batters as well.
Obviously you want to be in the zone early and often, and sometimes like it can get muddled a little bit with pitch count, strikeouts, early contact, which one you like, which one is more optimal for each starter. But obviously you got to find that good mix of getting ahead early in counts and then putting guys away efficiently. Obviously you talk about that all the time, but that's something that can happen with a high strikeout arm. Just the pitch count can run up with a lot of foul balls and a lot of high 3-2 counts and stuff like that.
Ooh, nasty buckle breaking curveball there for out number 1 here in the fourth.
Next up, the right fielder, number 25, Will Bruschetta.
And you really, if you see that as his out pitch and how he's able to, kind of turn over the curveball, it can be really effective for a guy that in general is not going to get a ton of strikeouts on the fastball.
I think when he continues to develop that cutter and turn that into maybe a slider, that's going to be the best pitch that he has too. Pair it off that curveball.
There's the curve inside, and that's kind of why he established that fourth pitch just to back off some of these hitters on 3 pretty good pitches overall, which isn't bad at this level, but if he does advance to the next level, he's going to use that fourth pitch. And Nochi will alertly keep Kreitzer over at third. And the error will allow the third runner to reach here in the fourth.
Looks like he was just a tad rushed there for whatever reason. It looks like he tried to really pick that ball and get out of the glove, which obviously you want. I think he had a little bit more time than he thought to maybe set his feet a little bit better. It seemed like he got that ball and just kind of gave it away as soon as it reached the pocket there. Maybe never had a grip on it.
Don't usually see him make those errors either. He's pretty sure-handed at shortstop, Santiago, that is. Here's Adam De La Cruz. This lineup with the bases loaded for the first time here today for either side. 2-0. The lead for the Hoppers as they look to add to it. First pitch fastball in for strike one, so this already matches the most batters we've seen in an inning against, and it was the fourth. And the last start that saw 9 Hoppers come to the plate. Curveball has been troublesome lately for these hitters as that one is cued fouled on the first base line. 59 pitches thus far for AJ. So the pitch count is not the issue right now if he's able to get out of this fourth inning fairly efficiently. They have a rusted bullpen as well if need be. Only playing 2 games this week are these Beavers. The Hoppers will play 3. And that's kind of the element now because the doubleheaders are gone. No more, at least in public eye, that will happen. The Wednesday games are gone. We had 4 of those in a row. So these teams able to settle in a bit more, maybe throw one of those starters to the bullpen as we get closer to the playoffs here. 0-2 fastball away. 1-2 on De La Cruz.
I think you might start seeing managers piece together games from here on out just to start to see what they have for the postseason, just like you mentioned, gearing up for that playoff time coming up.
Chopped into the glove. No, it's through. It'll score a run, and everybody's safe. Kreitzer making his way home, and it's 3-0 Hoppers.
I didn't get a great look at that, but kind of seems like the same thing. Kind of rushed again. Came charging in for a ball that I'm not sure he really needed to come that hard for, just because Kreitzer at third doesn't have great speed, so you have a shot at home, but you also have a shot at first because that ball was hit with a little bit of pace. Took him to his left a little bit. I don't know, just kind of ate him up a little bit. Tough hop there, too.
And I thought at first that he made the play, at least blocked it down, which is that enough to get De La Cruz? It might have been at first base. The run might have scored regardless if he doesn't handle it extremely clean, but in the end, the if and the buts, I guess, don't matter here. It's 3-0. And now Ben McConnell, who's reached every time he's come to the plate, will come back up. Walk, single.
Not exactly who you want to see at the plate right now.
And with him up, the middle infielders will play back. Still looking for that double play with 1 out here, and the corners coming in. It's Lynch and Williams on first and third, respectively. There's a fly that's going to reach its way to play back towards the Cabana Sweeten foul. Jeremy Otto alongside Jake Heilman to bring the call here tonight. So glad you could tune in and join us on this Thursday. Friday Night Fireworks tomorrow, this Key West night. You see these snappy jerseys here as McConnell lines it foul. So you have your pick of these, the JJ ones for the Beavers earlier this season or the Hot Rods for the Mammoths. Which one are you wearing?
Key West.
Are you? Okay.
Every day.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's confidence.
I think the Hot Rods are a close second.
Yes, I like those too.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-2 into the glove of Keyshawn. Did he beat him? Just barely, and another run does score. Greg Vaughn Jr. comes home, and it's 4-0 Hoppers here. Crucena out at third.
That can feel like forever waiting for that ball to come down, especially when you know they come into.
Guy humming home.
Yeah, that can feel like an eternity waiting for that ball to come down.
I feel like the JJ jerseys would be popular among the kids.
Certainly.
Like the paw prints.
Yeah, absolutely.
First pitch to Lopez Rios, swing and a miss. He had a nice swing his first time up. Chase Verdejo back and left. Roy was already playing pretty deep, so he was able to make the catch on the edge of the track. Swing and a miss. Diving curveball there. Goes back to it. It's a curveball that's had a lot of break here in this fourth inning.
Obviously, he comes from that 6'8" arm slot as well, so it can have a lot of added depth to it as well, just coming from that tall slot.
Here's Santiago, cuts it off in the gap as Mercedes will get that one for the third out here in the fourth inning. They add a couple more. 4-0 the lead now.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
When it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, iconic IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Store I was at today, the Bell's truck actually pulled in as I was walking out, so there you go. Just picking up some water before the game here today. It'll be Nafy Mercedes, Austin Shoemaker, and Connor Bagneski, your Zach Hart Agency 3-men 2-up in the fifth as you take a peek at your Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union soundstage out in right center field.
Feels like this kind of music is the only music that can match the jerseys that are being worn by the Hoppers tonight.
Seems fitting, doesn't it? Jim Powers, Aaron Rao all checking in here today. Had the chance to meet Aaron the other day. Good guy. Loves watching our USPBL baseball here on the USPBL network. So glad to see you watching again here tonight, Aaron. David Brunsman. And all also saying hello on the YouTube side of things as well. Nafy Mercedes will come to the plate here in the fifth. Grounded out back to Guizdala the first time. A lot of contact against Guizdala thus far, but it's been fairly weak. We saw the double by Verdejo, just kind of looped it into left. That was the first hit. A pair of infield singles in the fourth, and back in the third had the double by Shoemaker. Nearly cut down at second base. These outfielders have been active so far here today for Eastside.
Does feel like with this Beaver offense all year, though, they're just a couple barrels away from really lighting the world on fire, and that's kind of been the trend of their season. It kind of comes out of nowhere, some random power here and there, and then they get on a hot streak, and they really do hit 1 through 9.
I mean, you certainly had some college power here. LeBoy, Verdejo, McFarland, who's not playing here in game one, all coming from the college scene. Keyshawn Lynch has flexed his muscles a bit more lately. He's more of a doubles type of guy, but a bat that has certainly picked up and helped them. The 2-2. Cutting, swing and a miss. A slider got him. Third strikeout here tonight for Guizdala.
Well located down and away from a right-handed hitter. It's obviously a tough pitch to hit. Paired with that two-seam fastball, that changeup only takes about 7 miles an hour off, but to a hitter's perspective, that's darting down and away from you. Your eye level is already kind of down in that direction, and by the time you've swung, you don't realize how far down and away it actually is.
Strike one to Austin Shoemaker. It's got to be a decently tough matchup for a lefty here. He hides it fairly well. Comes out right at that last moment there as the fastball buried low. Shoemaker had that line drive into right. Krushena picking it up pretty quickly, darting it to second, and it looked like what could have been an out for the Beavers there, but Shoemaker ruled safe. He was stranded at second base in the end. Santiago the last to bat in that third.
Two nice outfield throws today.
Yeah, both by the corners so far here tonight. Castellano staring into the night sky with the sun swimming behind the ballpark at this point. What happened to our 10 o'clock sunset? 30. It's quickly away. Is here or coming. Now you just wonder, week one of high school football is next week. Will it be blazing hot like it is sometimes, or will it be a bit more, I don't know, 75 mild-ish? This one is a drag bunt attempt by Bagneski, but he couldn't get a good piece of it. 0-1.
Yeah, I was never really a fan of playing football in the 90-degree heat.
Yeah, it's those first 2-3 weeks where it can be a factor. But then it can drop pretty quick because you have the 2 weeks where it's really comfortable, and then after that, it's like, where's the coat? But such is the state, I guess.
Yes.
They play Bagneski straight up. He's a guy that can spray it kind of anywhere. As this one in for strike three. Don't often see him taking a called third strike like that. He's flustered with the call possibly. And that is the fourth K tonight for Lenny Guizdala. Brand new pitcher here at the Hop dealing.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. Well, yes it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Your neighbors are going to be jealous when they see you're getting a new Connecticut water system. Say goodbye to hard water problems. No more spots on your glassware. Your laundry will feel and smell better. Your hair and skin will look and feel better. Say goodbye to hard water problems and say hello to great tasting crystal clear water with CGC Water.
A.J. Coleman out for the 5th inning here. Bit of a rough start for him in the 4th, but was able to reel it back in. A couple errors in the end. Allowed a pair of runs to score, but able to get a fielder's choice for the 2nd out, and then a ground out by De Los Santos up the middle of the infield. But overall, really no hard contact. Maybe one ball so far here today by A.J. Coleman, which is in general how he kind of works.
I mentioned kind of the trend of power, kind of random power for the Beavers, but also a trend that's not so positive maybe is the third base position has been kind of a struggle at times, just depending on who plays there for whatever reason for the Beavers. It doesn't matter if it's, Keyshawn who's over there tonight or some other guys. That position has been one of need for the Beavers and one that struggles at times. So I think those two areas are, unfortunately, sometimes a theme there.
Just slightly over 50% ground balls again here tonight, which is right around his average, 47% coming into play today on balls in play.
You see a guy with a heavy sinker like that, that's just what it's going to be, a lot of rollover ground balls, especially to righties.
I was about to say slider, but that's the curveball, or maybe the changeup. Took a bit off there. Average on the changeup, 81. It's been there or below so far tonight. A 1-1 chopped foul. Castellano has been a part of 2 out of the 4 runs thus far. Has driven in a double and a single. That double nearly caught by LeBoy. It went off his glove right on the yellow pad in right field in the end. Here. Shutters low.
Looks like LeBoy actually could have saved that from being a home run. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it again
it's
as well.
It's possible, yeah.
Could have brought it back.
If he lets that just fly, it might have kind of skidded off the top of that yellow mark as Verdejo, wow, crashes into the sign in left center field. Weingart's feeling the back of Roy there for the first out in the 5th.
That's right where the gate opens, actually, so that is kind of a tough spot to fall into the wall there. It feels like it could probably open up on you, and if it wasn't clasped all the way, I'm sure it could have, but a nice job to keep his wits about him and make that catch.
Made a couple nice plays so far here today. Brings up Abaret now. He's due to run into one. He had a pretty sharp liner in the 1st and a ground out in the 3rd. Certainly with his offense contributing like they have so far here today. Fastball away at 87, 2-0 quickly on Felix. Him, Kreitzer, and Greg Vaughn Jr. hitting in the middle of Paul Nochi's lineup tonight. Coleman quickly falls behind 3-0.
I think this is one thing that Felix has done since he's kind of gone on his tear is get himself into better hitting counts. Earlier on in the season, a lot of 2-strike counts, a lot of tough pitchers counts. Now he's been getting in a lot of hitters counts of late.
Probably not that uncommon for a guy converting to pro ball, wanting to maybe be a little overzealous and get your pitch and find it early, but shows you the learning curve that you can go through just in your first year flipping to this level. Can be daunting, especially with some of the pitching that this league sees as Brett pops it foul. Full count on Felix. Only the 2nd full count that Coleman has faced so far here tonight. There is an arm tossing in that bullpen for the Beavers. Curveball hung up there a bit. Tough area for everybody. Verdejo spreading his way in. He did not catch that baseball, though. Zabaret retreats to first. So kind of in between no man's land for both Verdejo and Bagneski. I'm not sure Bagneski read it right away, and in the end, it will follow its way through. when you're going right, those are going to drop.
Yeah, if you look back at that play and you actually draw it up from the technical perspective, that is the center fielder's ball, but it looks like you said, Bagneski didn't read it right off the bat, and Verdejo came flying in. I'm not sure if he called it off a little bit too early potentially, and Bagneski kind of pulled up just because of that. But just kind of a weird Bermuda Triangle-like little single for Felix.
One and 0 on Kreitzer. A couple hard hit balls. He found himself a single in the fourth. Didn't come easy though, as LeBoy tried to throw him out from right field. Kreitzer shared a smile. Low, Knott's foul. And that is Donovan currently warming up, kind of your innings eater. He's done a good job at it lately. So I think if we see a 6, that'll really depend on what we see here in the 5th from Coleman. If he labors a bit, I could definitely see Donovan coming in 6, 7, maybe even the 8th. Cole Stanton could conceivably go 2 as well because, again, this team does not play again until Saturday. So you throw 2, get yourself a couple days rest, maybe throw 1 on Saturday if you're Stanton, if need be. It'll be Austin Shea pitching for the second time in the starting role on Saturday. Skipping Kinney again. Arm was a bit tender last week. Not sure if he is available here tonight.
I think Kinney has some of that versatility, though, that you talk about a lot with guys transitioning back and forth between the bullpen and the starting role. I think he was mostly out of the pen in his time with the Philadelphia Phillies farm system, but obviously made a couple starts here, had a no-hitter in one, but has given them some good relief outings as well. So someone that, especially in the postseason, can give you some versatility.
Strike 1 to Greg Vaughn Jr. Austin Shea, a guy who's looked pretty good so far. Just 1 earned run in over 11 innings of work here in the USPBL. 2 walks to 9 strikeouts. 2 5-inning outings in his last 2 appearances. First and second with 2 outs here after the 4-pitch walk to Kreitzer as the curveball snaps in for strike 2. So Coleman trying to wheel his way right out of this potentially tough 5th inning. And he is nearing the 90 mark, so this might be it for AJ. Let's see if he empties the tank a bit here to Vaughn Jr. The 1-2, tried to check it, could not. And Greg not happy about the call, but that will be the 3rd out here in the 5th inning. 4-0 Hoppers on the USPBL.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Jeremy and Jake back with you here from the ballpark. Head to the 6th inning. And did we just see lightning or something? The umpires came together in between that half inning.
I think there might be a dispute with how many outs there are.
Really?
It looked like Adrian Cook came over to Paul Nochi and was talking about, he said 2. I saw the horn fingers going, so I think he was saying
right.
2 outs.
They're right, yes.
And I believe our board had 2 outs when the strikeout occurred, so everybody kind of came off the field and was...
Yeah, that is what my scorebook reads as well. So we are still here in the 5th inning. A.J. Coleman probably thinking his day was done, so we'll see how this goes. Because he's close to, where his limit has been so far this year. 86, according to the flight scope on pitches here, so he'll be given at least a couple warm-up tosses to try to get himself back into playing shape here. Joy Laird asked any pictures of the people throwing the first pitch. We don't have any, but the USPBL Facebook page might, so I would check there after the game. They usually post a fairly lengthy photo gallery. Search United Shore Professional Baseball League, and like us there as well while you're there, Joy. You can certainly subscribe to us on YouTube as well, get notifications when we are live. Facebook will do the same thing if you like us, give you a push notification when the USPBL network is live. And tomorrow we encourage you to share our Facebook stream. Trying to get everybody to share it to reach new heights in terms of engagement at the USPBL network. States watched, countries watched, all that good stuff. So join in on the fun tomorrow. As A.J. Coleman is out there after striking out Greg Vaughn Jr., Joe Burke, some more power coming to the plate as he looks at one outside. A line out and a strikeout for Joe Burke. Darkness starting to settle in here at Jimmy John's Field, 8:34 Eastern Time. It's been fairly clear here today, and kind of clear in general for the last almost, I feel like, week. The very beginning of last week, I think that was Wednesday, where the big rains hit again. Made everybody's commute very interesting. This one nearly nipped Joe Burke here, 2-1.
Feels too good to be true, Jeremy. I feel like we're going to get, 100 straight days of rain just to pay back for the nice 6 days that we've had.
It's been that kind of summer, hasn't it? The grass is soaking every inch of rain that there has been.
Feels like we're going to get reprimanded for our enjoyment of the weather.
A little slap on the hand, 2-1, curveball, high. 3-1 on Joe Burke. Ready and ready for Coleman. Strike 2, fast pass. Who knows? Maybe that's because he was almost checked out. Probably. I'm assuming Ed Campanella said, yes, your night is done after what was only 2 outs. And the Hoppers recognizing that, and or the umpires in between innings there. 3-2, runners moving. That one juiced foul.
Probably one of the only times that you get the handshake your manager, and the old pat on the back, nice job, and then they quickly
push
say,
out.
yeah, you're going back out.
Because I'm sure Donovan wasn't really ready. I'm not sure if he continued to throw. Maybe he's ready. He sat down. We've not seen Coleman go over this amount of pitches so far this year, as he's going to walk the bases loaded here. Aberrett to third, Kreitzer to second, and Burke over to first base. Roster's a bit deeper these days. The teams were allowed to expand to 20. We saw the Beavers add another arm as well. Matt Vallon, we have yet to see in game action thus far. He could get an inning today, conceivably. Him, Donovan, and Stanton are the expected arms. One and 0 on Crushena, with a cicada making some noise near the river out there. Here's the 1-0. Curveball floats high. There was a point last year, because our fans were obviously very limited, max 100 in total, where you could hear the crickets out there chirping. It's kind of eerie. 2-0 is low. 3-0 on Crushena now. Have you run into any cicadas? They were supposed to be at an all-time high or something.
Yeah, I know.
This year.
I'm not sure I could even point one out to you, Jeremy. So I have not.
They're big and not very friendly looking.
Good.
They won't bite you, I don't think, but Aberrett will score. Station-to-station baseball here in the continued fifth. And is that the end for A.J. Coleman as Campanella comes out, you'd think? Looks like there's movement towards the game in the bullpen, and that will, in fact, be it for A.J. Adam De La Cruz, the bottom of the order, due up. The innings eater, Charles Donovan, coming out. He's been solid lately. Back with more after this when he gets to the mound on the USPBL Network.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Back on the USPBL network as we take a look at Charles Donovan throwing his last couple warm-up pitches. Obviously, Charles, the left-hander, and Jeremy kind of mentioned, has eaten up a lot of innings and come in a lot of different situations for this Beaver team. Started the year as a starter and kind of transitioned into that long reliever role, and something that has always been there regardless of his role is the strikeouts, and obviously they've continued to stay at that level just because of the incorporation of that changeup to both to the righties, and now we're starting to see it a little bit more even to the lefties. Obviously that slider has been good against lefties as well, and I think something that kind of gets overlooked at times is the velocity numbers have gone all the way up for Charles from an average of right around 87, 88 in those first couple outings, and he's gotten all the way up to 90, 91, sitting in all the way up to 90 last couple outings as well. So an arm to watch here later down the stretch to see if he continues to improve.
Yeah, and hasn't been a reliever for the most part consistently lately, at least in his time in Indiana Tech, was pretty much a primary starter, but being a reliever allows him to gas it out a bit more earlier, depending on how many innings he is scheduled to work. Here he comes in with the bases loaded, so wouldn't mind blowing away Adam De La Cruz, I'm sure. This is his 30th inning of work, 16th appearance overall. He made 3 starts at the beginning of the season. Has only given up 1 earned run in his last 3 outings. 2 runs in total. That encompasses an inning and a third, 3 innings and 2 innings all put together.
14 strikeouts over those 6 1/3, though. That's something, as I kind of mentioned, just to keep an eye on with Charles as we continue to go down the stretch into the postseason, too.
And only 2 walks, so that's key. Certainly coming out of the pen as well. Has not walked a batter in his last 2.
There are situations kind of like this where you just turn to the bullpen and you kind of say, well, we need a strikeout. There's not a whole lot of room for error, and obviously with 2 outs it's different, but you come in with the bases loaded and 1 out, you say you either need to get a ground ball, hit hard someone at, so you can roll a double play, or we need a strikeout, and he's become a guy that can get you that strikeout.
2-2, fastball pounded away, 3-2 on De La Cruz now. 42 Ks checking into play, which is surmounted to a 12 or nearly 13 K rate per 9. Runners moving, got it. 87-mile-an-hour fastball by Adam De La Cruz, the 2nd K of the inning for him and Coleman, and he's able to strand the bases loaded in the second go-around here in the for the Hoppers. Stick with us. This is the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Eric Santiago, Christian LeBoy, and Ron Williams Jr., your Zach Hart agency. 3 men due up in the 6th inning of play. 1, 2, 3. 5th inning for Lenny Guizdala. Strikeout, pop out, strikeout. His 4th K of the night to Connor Bagneski, a guy who watched a called 3rd strike, which is something he won't often do. Has a pretty good command of that strike zone.
He's done a nice job mixing and matching up so far through his 5 innings of work.
Change up on the outside corner for strike 1. Santiago popped out back in the 1st. Little no doubles look here, which we've seen by both of these teams throughout the night. At least that's the way they're playing Santiago here. De Los Santos off the line a bit more after that pitch. Here's the 1-1. Slicing to the gap to De La Cruz. Overthrew it. Santiago heading to second base, maybe more. Those wheels a factor again as the leadoff error will allow him to reach here in the 6th.
Whenever you go to the backhand like that as a shortstop, finding the baseball out of the glove and transitioning to the throwing hand can be difficult at times just because you got to get it out quick with a runner like Santiago on the bags. And so getting a good grip on the throw over, and it never looked like he had a chance just because that ball started so high and went so far over Joe Burke's head over at first base.
So despite being shut out here today, they have been able to scatter 7 base runners, just haven't been able to get home past second base despite 2 doubles hit thus far. Slider in for strike 1. So Lenny Guizdala again finds a runner on second base, the third we have seen so far here. Chopped on the ground to De Los Santos. Throws it for out number 1. So kind of a mix of contact and strikeout thus far for Lenny here today. Has gotten his defense involved really since the get-go, though.
Kind of mentioned earlier, just mixing and matching, obviously, with the fastball velocity sitting right around 82, 83. Obviously, these hitters have seen velocities, higher than that. So mixing the changeup in a lot to righties and that slider into both righties and lefties has been essential for Lenny to be successful, and obviously that's what he's been successful with all throughout his college career, too.
Lefty on lefty as Ron Williams Jr. looks at strike 1. Ron today, a pop out and a ground out to his credit thus far. Some action in the Hoppers pen now as well. Colby Dewhurst. So we've already seen 1 pitching change. Donovan coming in. Swing and a miss. Again, Guizdala is stretched out. I mean, he started pretty much all season long in the Pioneer League, another independent team. He's probably got 10, 15 left, you'd think, if they want to go that far. And that might depend on what the action looks like here in the 6th. I'm sure they'd like to get him through the 6th if possible. 2-2, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 here tonight.
Looked like a changeup there just because it broke towards that left-handed hitter. And obviously, I talked about it a little bit last week too, that lefty-on-lefty changeup can be really effective because it plays off that slider. Obviously, the slider breaks away from a left-handed hitter, whereas the changeup kind of darts right underneath the hands and breaks on a left-handed hitter, and it kind of disappears from your barrel before you can really get extended. So another nice pitch by Lenny there.
Talked about it before. He hides it pretty well before he comes to the plate, so adds maybe a little bit more deception to velo that's not going to really knock your socks off, but at the same time here tonight, gets 5 strikeouts. Got a decent amount in college as well, as Keyshawn Lynch looks at ball 2 up high. Infield single in the 4th. Was able to beat out the throw over at first. It was close. So Keyshawn kind of settling in to the middle of this order. So we talked about speed earlier when it comes to the Hoppers, but really 1, 2, 5 in this lineup here today stand out as guys that can run. Now the 2-1. Golfed right in a perfect spot. It's going to carry nearly to the warning track here. Jogging home is Santiago. On his way to second, standing up is Keyshawn Lynch, and he drives in the first Beavers run here tonight. It's 5-1.
Got a fastball and didn't miss. Right over the heart of the plate. A nice swing by Keyshawn there to get his hands extended. Something that we've kind of seen him do at times this year, but hasn't gotten consistent with that yet. And someone that you just feel like is so close to breaking out, and he's been on a couple hot streaks here and there, but hopefully a swing that can really ignite the Beaver offense here down the stretch of this game.
They're checking on Colby Dewhurst. He gave him a thumbs up, and that might mean he's coming into the ball game here, as Nochi was about 5 steps out of the dugout as all that was happening. I think Dewhurst, or check that, Guizdala was almost calling for the pitching change there. Not sure if he tweaked it or something there or what. Paul Nochi going to ask him maybe that very fact. Here with 2 outs in the 6th, he records his 5th strikeout in the end and passing the baton to Colby Dewhurst now. A run in, the first of the game for the Beavers, 5-1, your score.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. Well, yes it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
As your neighbor who works at Ascension, Michigan, and a cardiologist who's practiced for more than 20 years, I'm going to keep asking, how are you feeling today? Your care can't wait. Getting care sooner can mean catching things before they get worse. At Ascension, Michigan, our ERs and our hospitals and other sites of care are maintaining strict precautions for your safety. Studies have shown that people will get care sooner if they're encouraged by their doctors, family, and friends. Get the care you need at getascensionmichigancare.com.
Colby Dewhurst on to relieve Guizdala here in the 6th inning. 2 outs, a ground out and a strikeout, but an error has come around to score. That was to lead off this 6th inning of action, and the single by Keyshawn Lynch. And Dewhurst trying to keep this score right where it is.
Colby's a guy that'll feature a fastball, slider, and a change rather. Someone that's velocity will sit right around 87, 88 with spin rates right around the 2200 mark. Obviously, Colby is a guy that has seen limited work out of the bullpen since being added onto this Hopper roster. Only 5 outings and a couple hiccup outings here and there, but in his best outings, he gets efficient outs. It's kind of the common theme of the league, and you saw it with various guys like A.J. Coleman, Zach Jones of the Unicorns, and other things too. So being efficient is obviously going to be a key for him in this situation and beyond that if they choose to keep him in the game.
So Roy Verdejo comes up here in the 6th. He has not recorded an out at the plate thus far. He's been eyes on a couple times so far here today. Greg Vaughn Jr. cut him down 7-2 to end the 2nd inning. It was also the 3rd out in the 4th on just a ground ball up the middle. See what he can do here in the 6th. Slider outside. Keyshawn Lynch get around the third base bag. He'll stay there. Keyshawn, to this point, has driven in the only run for the Beavers thus far here tonight. You think Donovan would come out for the next half inning with only 1 batter faced. Adam De La Cruz striking him out. Give him at least the 6th. And maybe slot in your newcomer, Valen, for an inning. 1-0, fastball away. 2-0 on Roy Verdejo. He's battled each time he's been up thus far. just misses his spot there. 3-0, 89 miles an hour on the fastball.
Looked like a pitcher's fastball there. It could have gone either way. I think it was one that Colby kind of was trying to buy for on the mound there, but a tough call to make it 3-0 here.
Puts runners on the corners with the free pass, and Verdejo has now been on each time.
Next up, the designated hitter number 23, Collier Rutledge.
The spin rates maybe working against Dewhurst there. Heavy, slider-like spin rates, at least for the USPBL on average. 2,300 on that last fastball, which if it's moving and you're getting swings and misses can certainly be a good thing, but was not able to locate in that at-bat, at least to Verdejo. So now Collier Rutledge trying to ride this hot hand. Had a single in the second. 3 hits his last game before that.
You'd like to see Colby dial it in here. Also, I would like to see Felix Abaret maybe take a trip out there. Could be one of the infielders as well, but just kind of take a deep breath and give Colby a second here. Remind him that he has 2 outs and he just needs 1 here.
Dewhurst has yet to strike out a batter in the USPBL thus far. 6 walks to no Ks. Last appearance before this against this very Beavers team last week. Gave up a pair of runs and an inning and 2/3. Another 1-1. Hardy secondary stomp there by Verdejo over at first. Kind of bluffed and then took 2 hard charges to his right. It's a modest lead to begin for Roy over at first. High chopper fed into the glove by De Los Santos. Over to first he flies, and that will end the 6th inning without any more runs scored. Eric Santiago started it off by reaching on an arrow to De La Cruz, and it ended in a 5-1 score.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Donovan out there for his first full inning of work. Was a part of that 7-batter inning in the 5th for the Hoppers that he was able to strand the bases loaded in the end with. 3 walks by A.J. Coleman at the end of his outing. Kind of uncharacteristic. 3 walks that would be his first 3 in that game as well. One you kind of, maybe grant him. Or maybe was that 2? It was 2 because Greg Vaughn Jr. struck out, and then literally everybody came off the field. We thought the inning was over. They thought the inning was over. My scorebook did match 2 outs, but I guess I didn't pay attention to it. But in the end, after a runner was stranded, quote-unquote, on second base, they came off the field, but the umpires came together and decided, yes, it was 2 outs. So Coleman probably got the message that he was done in that game because he was upwards of 80 pitches, which is right around where has been his high. 89 was his high coming into today. Got to 90 is ouch. That one drilled Ben McConnell straight in the back. So he is now reaching every at-bat. Walk, single, fielder's choice, hit by pitch now.
Kind of going back to that inning, though, with the 2-out fiasco, if you will. It's weird because I didn't think Paul Noce really noticed it himself. It kind of was brought to his attention. It looked like by Adrian Cook. I could be mistaken just because I didn't necessarily watch Paul, his whole mannerism throughout that whole process. But it looked like Adrian was the only one that brought it to his attention. It looked like the runners also were ready to give up their helmets and get their gloves. So kind of just a weird situation.
First pitch to De Los Santos. Hit the bag, did Mercedes. Taylor made double play. For the first 2 outs here in the 6th. Now Pedro Castellano will be the last shot. He's also been a part of 2 of these 5 runs on the board for the Hoppers. 5 runs off 6 hits and an error. 1 run off 2 hits, or 1 run off 6 hits and 2 errors. That certainly the Beavers have gotten the runners on. They've just not been able to capitalize thus far. Castellano with a single and a double. Breaking ball in for strike 1. The 1-1 remained high. Donovan, heavy four-seam fastball coming into play today, 56%. Ball around, changeup 19. 2-1 in for strike 2. Also throws the cutter, but really has kind of scrapped that as he's gone to the bullpen. Made 3 to begin the year. Two. Curveball low.
I think that cutter is a pitch that he's constantly been toying with throughout his time here at the USPBL, but I'm not sure that he's really brought it back. Like you said, I think in college he threw it more, he said, when I've had a few different conversations with him, but I think it's one pitch that he just has kind of put in the back pocket for now.
And something he was working on kind of later in the college season for Donovan as Castellano K's looking, and even after the hit by pitch, Donovan faces just the minimum here in the 6th inning. His last 4 appearances have been real solid out of the bullpen.
Times are tough right now. It feels like the bottom of the 9th and we're down by 2. But we've seen tough times before. And just like baseball has always been more than just a game, Chief Financial Credit Union is more than money. So it might be the bottom of the 9th, but we're the home team, and we've got runners on base. Batter up, America. It's time to play ball.
Caribbean Blue Band at your Michigan Schools and Government soundstage here today.
Jeremy, are you musically talented?
No.
So you aren't going to make an appearance out in the Michigan Credit Union soundstage anytime
Maybe
soon?
with the air guitar. Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
Up here doing that before we came back, but that's about it. Yeah, I never played an instrument. How about you?
Yeah, I got forced to in I don't know if you call it middle school, is the 5-6 building at the school district I grew up at, and got forced to. And I picked, I think, about the worst instrument for a person of my stature to play.
What's that?
The violin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kind of a goofy selection on my part. I'm not sure what led me to that. All my friends were.
That can't be an easy one either, right?
No, yeah, no. It was a brutal year. I was certainly not passionate about it. And my music skills matched my passion for the instrument, so that was pretty bad.
Colby Dewhurst out here for inning number 7. He came in for Guizdala Back in the 6th, it appeared that Guizdala asked for a substitution, so not sure exactly what went into that. But regardless, Dewhurst out for his second inning of work. Mercedes, Shoemaker, and Bagneski. 8-9-1, brought to you by Zach Hart Agency. In a 5-1 game in favor of the Hoppers here tonight.
We were watching Nafee take batting practice up here right towards the end of their round, and it looked like he was getting into some baseballs. I'd like to see him get into one here tonight.
First pitch to Nafee, carved in for strike one. Plenty of games have already gone final in the MLB, kind of a here or there day in terms of who's in action, who's. You see the Tigers, what happened to them earlier? They were 2 in about the 5th inning, and LA came all the way back to win 13-10 in regulation. Tampa Bay with a 7-2 win over Baltimore here today. Seattle with a 9-8 squeeze of a win. 1-1 chisel to De La Cruz. Has to hurry with Mercedes running. Just able to nip him over at first base for the first down here in the 7th. Houston, the 3-10 as well over Kansas City. Oakland with a 5-4 win over the White Sox. That's a intriguing series. Arizona 6, Philadelphia 2 so far. New York over the Twins right now, 6-3. Reds with a 4-1 lead over the Marlins. Brewers with a 3-1 lead. That's early on in that game, on the top of the 4th over the Cardinals as well. Little bunt. It could be enough. It sure is. And he might get base. Trying to wheel to second. Not an easy path because he was potentially trying to run through the bag. But Shoemaker is on second base for the second time here tonight.
A well-executed bunt for a hit there. One of those situations where it looked like De Los Santos was deep enough at third base where he could show that a little bit earlier than you typically see a bunt for a base hit. And he was able to just kind of push that down the third baseline. It was well executed there by Shoemaker and a spark for the offense here in the 7th.
They ruled it a hit and an error. I think that's a good call.
Tremendous work by our scorebook operator there, Jacob Stone, on the other side.
So Miguel Cabrera again did not make history today, but he did have 4 RBIs, 2 of 5 at the plate. Curveball dips in for strike one. Santiago, your Zach Hart Agency man on deck. Right back at Dewhurst. Shoemaker will stay right where he is, and they'll record the second out.
Next up, the shortstop, number 13, Eric Santiago.
Santiago today reached on an error back in the 6th. That was to lead off the inning and came around to 1-0 on this. Had Jackson Hicks of the Mammoths making his debut in affiliate baseball last week at age 23. It is second well, so 2 games out of the bullpen, but a decent chunk of innings, 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits given up, but just 1 earned run and no walks to 9 strikeouts. They'll love to see that, I'm sure.
Yeah, he had a great outing. I think it went 4 1/3 recent and 6 strikeouts. So a great job so far by Hicksy down in Florida.
I don't believe that the other 3 have played a game. I looked it up yesterday. They had not at that point.
They have not. I actually looked as well today, and up to this point at least, they did not.
We've already seen a couple other former USPBL players get promoted. Call them a rental or whatever you want. Joey Weimer and Xavier Warren last year, although they were affiliates technically of the Milwaukee Brewers, have been promoted to High A at various points this year. Xavier Warren, who's expected to catch a good amount in that Milwaukee system, played some third base in college. Now playing in High A. He's played about 8 games there. He's hit for some power this year, 10 home runs at A-ball. As this one off the shoulder of Santiago. Joey Weimer was really bombing the ball. At last check, too, he had a couple walk-off home runs. Try to pull up his numbers here. Both of those guys local products. Weimer out of downriver. And Xavier Warren attending Central Michigan as well. Weimer's hitting .291 combined this year between A-ball and High A, 50 RBIs. Some major pop, 12 doubles, 2 triples, 18 home runs to this point.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys to track. It's kind of fun to kind of bounce around and see who's doing what, who's pitching and playing for who. Nolan Clenny, Unicorns closer last year, also the net. LeBoy looks at strike one. He's got a .270 ERA through 9 appearances, 13 1/3 innings of work. He's kept those walks fairly low, 5 walks to 18 strikeouts. Playing for the St. Lucie Mets currently. And that is A-ball as well. Dugan Darnell, who played for these Hoppers, playing for the Rockies to this point. Still real solid, 1.52 ERA, 41 1/3 innings of work. How about that? 9 walks to 60 Ks. That'll get you a look.
That certainly plays.
And that's an arm that's fresh, and that he hasn't really pitched a lot in his career so far. So they might just have a golden one on their hands there. In High A now, Spokane, the Indians.
Especially for a guy that comes out of the pen, you don't like to see a high walk rate with those relievers, and when you can have that high strikeout rate with a low walk rate, it plays.
Line drive to left center field, but McConnell read it immediately as he cruised to the gap for out number 3 here in the 7th inning. So a couple more Beavers base runners stranded. They've been tough to scratch across runs here today. That's now 9 base runners and still only 1 run. Time for your 7th inning stretch presented by Genesis Credit Union here today. And take me out to the ball game. Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Genesis Credit Union is your sponsor of this 7th inning stretch here today on the USPBL Network.
There's nothing better than a ball game at Jimmy John's Field and a cold beer from Midland Brewing Company. Hi, I'm Kyle, the head brewer at Midland Brewing Company, here to wish you a stellar time making memories at Jimmy John's Field. And we hope that you're living it up with a Copper Harbor Ale in your cup. You can find more of our selections here at the ballpark and around town at your favorite bottle shops too. We hope you have a ball at the game, and remember, enjoy responsibly. Let's play ball.
Every summer, my family loves to have a neighborhood movie night in our backyard. And with my Chevy Blazer, I can head out and get everything we need for a great night. It has plenty of room for picking up friends and a cargo management system that keeps all our supplies in place. You know, it may be movie night, but my Blazer is the main attraction, wherever I go.
Lease a 2021 Blazer 2 LT for just $295 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Matt Valen on to make his USPBL debut here tonight. He'll take the 7th for Donovan, who threw really efficiently again here tonight, striking out 2 more. That makes it 18 Ks to just 2 walks in his last 4 appearances. Valen, a guy who's played in 3 separate independent leagues to this point since graduating in 2019. Most recently in the tier, a couple different teams this year, New York and Sussex County. Had a 4.50 ERA through 4 appearances for Sussex County. And he brings the heat at 92.
You like to see that out of a left-handed arm. That's something you don't see all the time, and obviously we see a lot of kind of crafty lefties, but a lefty with some velocity is a welcome change.
Fly ball to left center field. Giving up on it is Verdejo as he hits it on a line out again. Felix Albaretz at 92 off the bats. Deep into the trees. Maybe hit a cricket out there.
Yeah, I think Felix just was frustrated by my comment of the velocity from the lefty and decided to kind of embarrass me here on the air and send out a home run there. Just jumped on a fastball, was ready for the fastball on time, and put his best swing on that. I like to see that out of Felix.
His 7th dinger of the year. It's to the point where you got to start thinking about him getting some looks if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Absolutely. He does a really nice job behind the plate managing the pitchers as well.
First pitch to Kreitzer, 93. Slotted in for strike 1. And this isn't an easy arm angle either.
No, not at all.
It's almost getting towards sidearm. It's kind of past that 3/4 slot as that pounds in at 95. 0-2 on Kreitzer. And he hides it really well. It's almost like he's, folding his wrist.
It's a funky motion for sure.
Over the ball there. And just on the surface, you wouldn't think that there's 93 out of that motion. Just because in general that you're trying to maybe, at this level at least, deceive a bit as he wraps out the slider.
Slider's really nice spin, too. This is obviously the first time that we both have seen him throw. I think the fastball and the slider alike have really plus spin rate, especially for the league averages coming into tonight, too.
Carves inside, 93 there. Certainly the best velocity we've seen so far tonight. The strikeout rate has always been high. The walk rate has been a problem. 13 strikeout rate in college as Williams gets over and will win that long race to the bag with Kreitzer running there for the first out here in the 7th. Strikeout rate has continued into the pro ranks around 12. But a walk rate of nearly 8. In what has been mostly bullpen appearances. Hasn't really started consistently since college. Fastball at 92 in for strike 1. Greg Vaughn Jr. had a single in between his 3 at-bats tonight. Also came around to score. That was a part of a 2-run 4th inning. 1 in the first, 2 in the 4th, and another one here in the 7th on the solo shot to make it 6-1. 7 hits on each side and 2 errors as well. Boy, did that baby run on the inner third of the plate, my goodness.
Yeah, you got to imagine that the walk rate for teams to take a chance on him, but if he were to lower that, I think that obviously a velocity lefty is not something that you see all the time, especially like this. Consistently 93, 94. With spin rate right around 2,500 on the fastball.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. It's come in directly out of the stretch here tonight.
Kind of coils up and then throws everything at you.
Another slider. Had some late bite to it. Got a piece, but right into the glove of Christian LeBoy. That for the second out. And now Joe Burke will come back to the plate here. So glad you could tune in tonight on this Thursday for baseball. Jeremy Otto alongside Jake Heilman to bring you the call. 3 more days of games here at Jimmy John's Field after this. You can get your tickets at uspbl.com. Tomorrow, Fireworks Fridays are dwindling in terms of the numbers left. Have another one for you tomorrow as Burke slams the bat down. Bagneski, had a little bit of trouble with that one in the night sky here today. But regardless, after the line drive home run, it was an impressive shot by Felix Abaret to left center. Was able to make this 6-1 here in the 7th.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
I enjoy renovating my home, so getting materials with my Chevy Silverado is a daily trip. But as the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, it's perfect for all my projects. And with the most functional bed of any pickup, plus the power-up down tailgate, my Silverado helps me with everything I need. Of course, a little assist from a friend doesn't hurt.
Lease a 2021 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for just $199 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Elite athletes want to be closer to what fuels them. So we built them a gym behind the milk section.
What? What's going on here?
Oh, they're training.
What? In the milk section? What is happening? What you guys are doing here?
I've always had milk in my fridge, but I've never really trained in a fridge surrounded by milk. I feel like I've been able to level up my training and do things that others haven't.
No, they're training back there. It's a full gym.
Hey guys, keep it up.
Being close and nearby milk, it's how I hydrate, it's how I recover. It's important to be at arm's reach.
Back on the USPBL network, taking a look at Hayden Pierce, the new arm out of the bullpen for Paul Nochi's Diamond Hoppers. The righty will feature a fastball, curveball, and a slider. Occasionally features that changeup, but he's kind of the perfect bullpen arm as far as USPBL standards are concerned. 33 strikeouts to only 6 walks. One of the guys that you can just turn to. We talked about it with some of the affiliate guys earlier, but a guy that you can turn to out of the bullpen and know that you're going to get strikes know that you're going to get soft contact, and obviously a guy that's kind of a dream situation to turn to out of the bullpen in games like this when you're winning and you just don't want to mess around and give up any lead.
Probably been the most consistent arm out of the bullpen, and is right up there in terms of pitchers you speak about. Not necessarily, maybe catching as many eyeballs just because he isn't starting. I feel like a lot of the pitchers who have moved down late, all of them this year at least, were starters, but still, this guy is fun to watch like anybody else. He walked his first batter in 1, 2. It takes me a long time, sorry, because there's a lot of outings. 12. His first walk in 12 outings, but he struck out 8 in a 3-inning relief appearance the other day. That was on the 13th versus the Unicorns. 8 strikeouts and only 51 pitches. Caught up with him after the game and saw something you never see in today's day and age, a 3-inning save. Willie Hernandez style. This one up high and away, 2-0 on Ron Jr. He's 0 for 3 today. Pop out, ground out, strikeout. Here's the 2-0. Carved in at 91 for strike 1.
I think that velocity is going to be important for him to take that next step up to affiliated ball. If you can get up to 90-91 and feature those 4 good pitches for Hayden Pierce with that walk rate, I think somebody would really like to come in and take a shot.
2-1, tried to hold up, could not. Probably a strike anyway. 2-2. His velocity has gone up a tick as the year has gone on, as we look at the graph a little bit, made by you actually, but lately on the 4-seam, he's been more so 89 on average, the 2-seam around 88. And sometimes you're dealing with 0.5% here, but the point is you get it up to 90 more consistently. It sounds funny, but that does make a difference. Holds an extra beat, the 3-2. Wow. Albarette knew it. Froze Ron Williams Jr. for the first down here in the 8th.
The first pitch of that at bat, for whatever reason, got called a ball, and I think it was a little bit better pitch than that was. Located fastballs, and you see why Hayden Pierce is such a good guy to turn to out of the bullpen.
So we told you about the fireworks tomorrow. On Saturday, it's Classic Rock Night, featuring the Laughing Madmen Band as well. Oh, this is something to get used to as well. That's a 9-inning game. We're so used to the 6-inning and 6-inning doubleheader, with the 9 innings kind of ending on Fridays, but because the doubleheaders have gone away, that's now the factor for the next 2 Saturdays. Actually, next 3 as well. The 0-1. Change up away. Then Sunday is Minion Villain Party, presented by Credit Union 1.
Certainly. Big Despicable Me fan.
Yeah? Some of those characters will be here thanks to Fairy Tale Entertainment. So get your picture ready down there.
Absolutely.
That's your last day here, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Well, there you go.
Sending me out on the most important note of the summer.
1-2 on Keyshawn Lynch. Beavers scored their only run back in the 6th inning, looking to get somebody on here with 1 out in the 8th. Pierce, a tough candidate for that, though. Reading the 1-2, 91, poured it away. It seems like, though, he is able to dial it up when he needs it, which is important.
Seems like it's always in the tank.
The last 2 at-bats with 2 strikes, he's poured on one of his better fastballs. Kind of a quiet, still night here today, as the mugginess has gone away with the sun out of the equation. 9:31 Eastern time, and back-to-back strikeouts for Hayden Pierce here in the 8th.
Well-located slider, and a slider with some incredible spin. Obviously, we talk about the spin rate a lot and what that does for a breaking ball. It just makes it that much sharper when it gets to the plate. It has later break, and obviously we see why. You know, it's tough to read out of the hand. You know, he has that 2-seam fastball paired with that slider breaking away from the right-hander as well. That pitch just froze Keyshawn.
7 strikeouts in total for this Hoppers pitching staff tonight. Breaking ball away. He's commanded every pitch very well, but something that stands out, he has not walked a batter on any fastball this year. 20 strikeouts. Goes to that more often than not, it seems, with 2 strikes as he looks for the K. 2-0 on Verdejo now. He's reached every time. Double, single, walk. Last at-bat was a 4-pitch walk. There's a fastball with some extra juice. Frustrated that he couldn't locate it, though. That in at 92.
Ran that all the way up to 92. Yeah, I was just about to say that's good. Good to see that velocity kind of keep increasing as the outing goes on as well. Something that you have the luxury of doing when you come out of the bullpen. We've talked about it before. Kind of save those bullets and kind of unleash them with it when you only have 15 pitches to throw.
92 would be his new season high as well. There's 90 inside as Verdejo continues his string of on-base appearances to break up what could have been a 1-2-3 bid in the 8th. Well, first pitch tonight at 7:03. Collier Rutledge charging in, so we're very close to the 2.5-hour time limit here tonight. We'll see if this isn't the final half inning. And it actually is. We missed the announcement, I guess. Johnny G informing the crowd before this half inning, unless obviously the Beavers are able to charge back. This could be the last batter for Hayden Pierce. Stick around for our AutoLab post-game show. We'll catch up with our Rochester University player of the game as well. Here's the 0-1. Real nice bite on the slider. Did he go? Says the base pass umpire.
Certainly tough to see from his angle. One that as a hitter you are just never happy with if he does end up going up with that right hand.
Another 1-1. Pounds the 92-mile-an-hour fastball foul again. So I don't know. That's kind of new heights here today. Just as we're talking about it, ears ringing down there maybe a little bit, but I'm sure he's continued to work with the pitching staff here in the DVS system, delivery value system.
Certain guys just don't come into the league throwing with an efficient motion and sometimes without any gain in strength or any gain in power, that you can find extra MPHs just in the body by itself.
Spent a lot of illustrations of that in the last few years, certainly. Rutledge got a piece of the fastball there. We say hello to Trish and Shane watching here today. Everybody else that is chimed in with us on the chat on Facebook and YouTube. Hayden Pierce trying to put a nail into the coffin here in the 8th. 2 strikeouts looking already. Williams and Lynch have gone down. Here's the 1-2 again. Laid off the slider. Got away from Alvarette and allows Verdejo to advance to second. He's been a bit pesky so far here today. He's made a couple nice defensive plays in the outfield as well. They've had a base runner in every inning except the first. That was 1-2-3 for Lenny Guizdala. He went 5 1/3 here tonight. Now the 1-2. Slammed it on the inner half for strike 3. What a look for Hayden Pierce. He strikes out the side in the 8th despite the 4-pitch walk, which is kind of unlike him. Only his 7th walk of the year here in the 8th. Able to slam the door with 3 nice Ks, Jake.
Obviously something that we talked about coming in, getting those early strikes and striking out hitters compared to that walk rate. Obviously we did see a walk, which is something that's a little bit uncharacteristic, but 3 strikeouts to finish. A great finish to a well-pitched topper outing tonight.
On our LED post-game show, we'll interview our Rochester University player of the game when we get back here on the USPBL Network. Stick around.
Ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline warming up the benches. Need a lesson? I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. 8, 5 ball, catch a frog, walk it out. 8, every time you score, I'm throwing up my diamond. Both hands in the air, same timing. Let's rock. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. To your heart. When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Attention, Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855 for my guys. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. No stopping, no stopping.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
I'm all out of love for my old insurance. Switch to insurance. They're saving me so much. They covered my car and bundled with my home. I feel so secure to say I love insurance.
Hello, AAA Insurance.
Goodbye, insurance. Hello.
Insurance.
Get a quote and save up to 20%.
We joined Green Path and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing Green Path is a no-brainer.
Your neighbors are going to be jealous when they see you're getting a new Connecticut water system. Say goodbye to hard water problems. No more spots on your glassware. Your laundry will feel and smell better. Your hair and skin will look and feel better. Say goodbye to hard water problems and say hello to great tasting crystal clear water with CGC Water.
As your neighbor who works at Ascension, Michigan, and a cardiologist who's practiced for more than 20 years, I'm going to keep asking, how are you feeling today? Your care can't wait. Getting care sooner can mean catching things before they get worse. At Ascension, Michigan, our ERs and our hospitals and other sites of care are maintaining strict precautions for your safety. Studies have shown that people will get care sooner if they're encouraged by their doctors, family, and friends. Get the care you need at getascensionmichigancare.com.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Attention, Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the carpet guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the carpet guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the carpet guys at 855 for my guys.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. But I'll guess it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
They call me